Group G, and the complexion of the group could very well depend on the outcome of this encounter between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt, who has paid his dues over the years. He's from Argentina, and he has previously managed such big clubs as Mallorca, Valencia, Inter Milan, Real Betis, Parma, and Racing Santander. The center referee for the day, who is from Zambia, is ready and raring to go. And there we go. It's Nigeria with the kickoff. Efe Ambrose, Obabona, Mikel, Etebo, Iheanacho, Igalo, Moses Simon. He wants to cut to the right. He's one to do that. Oh, goodness gracious me. And Nigeria's tranquility. And thanks to Kelechi Iheanacho, that was magnificent. He doesn't waste time. He takes it one time. And it rebounded, ricocheted off the post there.
Egyptians were cut cold. And it was Etebo who had the final touch. On the hour mark, Moses Simon had everything to do with it. Sets up Iheanacho. His ball came off the upright. And Etebo was the Africans are notorious for. They hold a 1-0 lead in the final moments of matches. That is what you get from Egypt. So this is a taste of Maghrebian medicine right here in Kaduna.
3 minutes added on here. The full 90 minutes have been played. Nigeria, they need to hold on for just a while longer. And the flag stayed down. It is a goal for Egypt. They've got the equalizer. The Nigerian defense caught flat-footed. They were waiting for the whistle to indicate offside. It was not forthcoming. The Egyptians were going berserk with celebration. They are delirious.
I was just talking about the injury. You can see here, what were they thinking of? Large space for Mohamed Salah, of all people, to run into, simply control the ball and finish low beyond. Kali came in goal. He had all the time and space in the water. He chose his spot. And how about this for a pass from the substitute Ramadan Sobi? He kills it nicely, Salah, and simply rolls it beyond the Keme, who couldn't do anything.
Let's smile over our Nigerian fans. I'm sorry, we had to show you that again. What a time to leave Mohamed Salah to be on his own, and they had all the time in the world to actually, place the ball where it should go, and that gave Egypt a crucial point right there at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna. Sports fans, let's talk football now. Talk to us on Twitter, channels_sports. After seeing those highlights, what are you talking about, and what should the team do tomorrow? What shouldn't they do? Let me start with you. Yemi, you're gutted. Yeah, you're gutted. They shouldn't have lost it at that time.
At all. I mean, a friend of mine had very unkind words for Godfrey Obabona, and one pass, just like knife in butter, one pass, 5 defenders. What were you thinking?
They were not even talking. They were not communicating.
And you could talk about how the goalkeeper didn't watch his line very well, give the ball out, and the defender, that was waiting for. I mean, let's not even go through. It's like I told you, I'm watching this for the second time. I saw it once, and I just couldn't bear to see it again. But I hope. A lot of things were good about the game, to be honest. A lot of positives. I mean, Victor Moses.
Showed just some brilliance.
Showed us how
when
good,
he came in.
hard work, commitment. I don't know if he's going to go with the same 18. Like Toby said when we were, off air, that I would love to see some of those home-based defenders.
The ones with fights, that will do the man-to-man matching.
Yes, put your leg, put your head, drag somebody, kick somebody, push whoever you're going to push, smile after the game.
That's
not
right.
During the game.
That's right.
When you kick somebody, don't pick them up. You just run down the clock. I mean, I'm not preaching that people should.
But you say they should go hard. They should go hard.
I'm not preaching unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
But you see, this is a crucial game.
Very, very.
We know that the North Africans have their tricks.
Yeah.
And they're going to do everything.
They even did it in Kaduna.
They're going to distract you. And then, so you need 100% concentration. I don't think that. I don't like the left back. My opinion. You're free to disagree with me. I don't think. I've seen other left backs.
Echejele probably would have given a man-to-man team to Salah. Game is almost ending.
The guy from Trenchtown, I think Kingsley Madu. I don't know if he's still there.
He wasn't bad against Chad as well.
For me, a big question mark on that.
Yeah.
And that centre back pairing.
Okay, I mean, what I'm saying is, you're not wrong saying they should have been hard, because the Egyptians, they were hard. Yeah. There are a lot of things TV won't show you. I was watching closely. Yep. They were doing. You see the tactical kicks they were giving to our players. El Neni, don't kick Kelechi Iheanacho in Egypt. Don't try it. Because El Neni, was following Kelechi Iheanacho from start to finish.
Yes.
The only time he left Iheanacho was when Iheanacho's ball touched the bar and then Etebo finished. So you see, it seems the man-to-man thing. Look at that.
6 guys behind.
Very horrible and unacceptable. You look at Stanley, it was very close. At Salah.
And you see, sorry Toby, that the Egyptians could score this goal without breaking sweat.
Yeah.
It wasn't as if they worked hard.
Yep.
At some point they were frustrated. Yeah. They were kicking our players. They thought we had won.
We got caution. We won a lot of free kicks. From the action. Just like Yemi said, we just lost it in that key moment. You look at Stanley. He was standing with Salah. You don't have any excuse leaving Salah. Even if you want to leave Salah, you need to communicate with your other guys. Guys, let's keep an offside trap.
Yes.
He left without communicating. Okay. And Efe and Godfrey kept Salah home. And
that's right.
It was just obvious.
I tell everyone how to come back too, because Obrabona went down, got up again. So we don't even know what's going on.
Austin, Etebo performance has justified most of us that call for the home base.
Yeah.
I always say the key word is the quality home base players. I say with boldness, Austin Obarako could have done better pairing either Godfrey or Efe at the back. We need guys that can kick. We need guys that are hard. We need guys that are difficult to just take on. Look at Etebo. Etebo won all tackles. There was a moment Etebo lost the ball. He got the ball back within 5 seconds. These are players we're talking about. Look at the goal Etebo scored. He shooted the ball, guided the ball. He was in control. And he used his last strength to get the goal. Austin, yes, he has the bulk of the players. We got a couple of home base in there, Chibuzo and the rest. I know Etebo will start, 5-star performance for him. He will get in. But just like Yemi said, we need players that will fight. It is football, not a war, but we need to fight to get this.
Let's let our viewers see our updates coming. Let's see the latest pictures from the training camp of the Super Eagles before they left Kaduna for Egypt this morning. It started with a talk from the coach, Chris Samson Siasia. He had a serious one-on-one talk. That's the team having their warm-up session. He had a serious talk with Godfrey Obuabona. He let the defenders understand that there's no way you can't play football if you don't communicate with yourself, with each other.
And it was also
very, very
no communication.
Important. I also saw that he tried to do some, positional play with Ogenyi Onazi. So maybe he might just be locking up that middle. You might see an Ogenyi, Mikel, and even Etebo.
If he's going to play two central midfielders like he did in Kaduna, and if Ogenyi is playing, I'm sure he has to restrict Ogenyi Onazi's movement, because John Mikel Obi is not as fast as he should be
in terms of coverage.
John Mikel Obi can retain possession. He's very good at that, and he does that well. But in terms of covering every blade of grass, I think Etebo did that. So if he's going to play 2 central midfielders and he's already talking to Onazi, maybe Etebo will find himself on the bench. But if Onazi is playing in a crucial game that we need to win and not concede goals, he had better restrict him. And the Ogenyi Onazi that I know is a very adventurous player. If it was a 50-50 game, I would say just leave Ogenyi Onazi and let him do whatever he's going to do. But in this game, where there must not be any holes, it's